Before we get into today's video, first a big thanks to our sponsors at NordVPN. Get 68% off by going to nordvpn.com/censoredgaming or checking out the link in the description. NordVPN allows you to surf the web as if you were located in over 60 countries when you can bypass filters and regional restrictions. It also keeps your internet data secure so you get safe when browsing, and they recently passed an independent audit which confirmed their strict no data logging policy. This, alongside being based in Panama, a region known for being a haven for data privacy, means your info will always be kept private. So again, get a huge 68% off by going to nordvpn.com/censoredgaming or checking out the link in the description. And even more, get an extra month for free by using the code censoredgaming at checkout. September saw the long-awaited remastered release of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, and that means now makes a great time to take a look back at the original games and at how they fared when they got ported to the Nintendo 64. The N64 era was when Nintendo of America started to relax a little on the strict content policy they imposed on publishers for its systems, with these rules being dubbed their family-friendly policy. The family-friendly policy plagued gamers for years during the NES and SNES eras, and would sometimes result in a wide range of changes having to be made for Nintendo releases of games. However, despite getting some very mature titles such as Conker's Bad Fur Day, the N64 era still saw a fair share of games released for it with content more toned down compared to other platforms and made more child friendly. The first 3 Tony Hawk's games were released on the N64, and all of these came with an E for Everyone rating from the ESRB. Conversely, on other platforms, the games would usually come with teen ratings, and thus various changes had to be made to get the rating down. Furthermore, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 also saw a release for Nintendo's next-gen GameCube system and came with a teen rating, meaning that no more changes had to be made to tone the content down, unlike the N64 version. Censorship wasn't the only changes that had to be made for the N64 ports, however. Due to the console making use of the cartridge-based format rather than disc, alterations had to be made to get around the limited storage space. These alterations included removing video clips, removing songs, and shortening songs in length. Originally released for the PlayStation on September 29th, 1999, the N64 release of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 would follow on March 15th the next year. As detailed in this 2000 article from IGN, the N64 release was backed by a multi-million-dollar advertising campaign which targeted males aged 8 to 14 via TV commercials on channels such as WB Network, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, and MTV. A commercial would show the real-life Tony Hawk skating in the streets, with text appearing on screen listing various accolades from the press before Tony is then chased by cops, humorously also on skateboards. Also, a fun fact about this commercial, there actually exists another version but for the PlayStation instead, and with the sign at the start of the commercial not blanked out. In this version, the sign is shown to read "No skateboarding," hence why the cops start chasing Tony later on. Perhaps there was some concern over encouraging kids to break the rules or something. But to move things back to the game itself and how it got changed to get an E for Everyone rating, one of the first differences that you'll be able to spot in the N64 version is that there is no blood. The skaters would originally let out blood whenever they fell off their boards and crashed to the ground, but as shown, this got completely removed for the N64 release. Alongside this, a few gap and grind names also got changed due to being seen as inappropriate. These include Handy Gap, which got changed to Spanky Gap, Long Ass, which was changed to Big Daddy, and Holy Sh, which became Holy Cow. And then last but not least, the N64 version also made some changes to Private Carrera, the titillating secret skater that you can unlock. Whilst in the other versions, the skater's bio states that her age is barely legal, on the Nintendo platform this was changed to a whopping 41 years old, despite no changes to her appearance. Aside from the age change, her skateboards are also different on N64, and as well as different graphics, some of them have less naughty names. Erector Set became Yes Ma'am, Viagra Falls became Thanks Bob, Manhandler was changed to Hot Stuff, Feeling Blue to Miss Devastation, New Member to Crazy Stats, Solid Wood to Foxy Lady, She Got Pop was the only one that wasn't renamed, and then Skate Hard became Skate Mean. Following the first game's release, developers Activision would quickly begin working on the sequel. This meant that they decided to hand the responsibility of porting the game to the N64 to another company, this company being Edge of Reality. Edge of Reality was a company founded in 1998 that originally made a name for themselves through their work porting different titles to the N64. Prior to Tony Hawk's, they had ported Monster Truck Madness 64 N64 and would then go on to port Tony Hawk's 2 and 3, as well as Activision's Spider-Man to the N64. It would only take a year for Tony Hawk's 2 to be developed and released for the PlayStation, and with the N64 port of the first game only coming out a little while before this, N64 players had to wait almost a whole extra year longer than PlayStation players for the port of the sequel. Tony Hawk's 2 would be released September 2000 and the eventual N64 port August 2001. Perhaps to make up for the later release, the N64 version features a whole extra level not found in other versions that's based off a level from Matt Hoffman's Pro BMX. Aside from this neat extra, however, the other differences were similar to the original game, with video clips being removed, music drastically shortened, and various instances of censorship to keep the E for everyone rating. Blood was again completely removed, although this time the new blood-like washing off effect that gets applied to the text on screen would be removed as well. Private Carrera was this time removed completely, although interestingly she is still partially contained in the N64 files. As reported by the website The Cutting Room Floor, her special tricks got left in the game, and whilst not accessible via normal means, can be activated for any character through hex editing. Alongside this, there were a few edits to the N64 version to remove instances of the word hell. In the level Skate Heaven, the death message hell in a handbasket will sometimes appear when falling off the stage, but this got changed for the N64 release to heck in a handbasket. And then more noticeably is the censorship that was made to the song Guerrilla Radio by Rage Against the Machine. A big part of this song features the line "All hell can't stop us now" being repeated. However, on the N64, this line got heavily distorted to remove the use of the word hell. A little more than a year later, and Tony Hawk's 3 would also be released for next generation systems, with it first releasing for the PS1 and PS2 in October 2001. For the third game, Neversoft put the bulk of their focus on the PS2 version and left Shabba Games, who were the company who worked on Grind Sessions, in charge of the PS1 release. The PS1 port would be what the N64 version was based on, and perhaps due to this, the PS1 version was now also toned down as well and came with an E rating. The next generation GameCube release, however, like mentioned earlier, was rated T for teen and was virtually identical to the PS2 release. This time around, both the PS1 and N64 releases contained an extra level not found in the other releases, this time being the level Downhill. Only 2 out of the 8 secret characters are available in these versions though, these being Officer Dick and Wolverine. This also means that once again there's no Private Carrera in these versions too. The PS1 version did still have some improvements over the N64 port though, with it still featuring movies and more songs, with these songs also being the full versions and not reduced in length. But like the other games, blood was completely removed from both of these versions to keep the E rating. The blood in the third game also had the notable distinction of staining the ground for a period of time, and it also being possible to have numerous puddles left along the stage. And then aside from the blood and Carrera, another change that got made was again censorship to some of the song lyrics. This affected both the PS1 and N64 releases, but again keep in mind that the PS1 version had full-length songs unlike on N64, and so whilst the edits to provocative parts are the same, the songs between versions aren't completely identical. One notable edited song is If You Must by Del the Funky Homo Sapien. This song is all about the importance of personal hygiene, hence certain lyrics like "I'll go so deep in your ass, you'll be submerged," like you need to do in water because you smell like a turd.
I go so deep on your ass, you'll be submerged like you need to do in water because you smell like a turd.
That footage was from the GameCube release though. On the PS1 and N64, the words ass and turd were censored with a distortion effect. And then during the song's chorus, the line "you gotta wash your ass" repeats multiple times. On PS1 and N64 though, the word ass is simply removed, leaving what the rapper is talking about washing a mystery. Tony Hawk's 3 would mark the last time for this series to be released on N64, and future games will be released without these sorts of censorship-related platform differences. But what is your take on the N64 ports of the games? As always, please let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and once again, a big thanks to our faithful sponsors at NordVPN. There will be a link in the description if you want to go check their big discount out, and until next time, thank you for watching.